People don't know is that black people used to own lands. Black people used to own a whole bunch of land. In the history books you read, you might find a little bit about black people picking cotton and that they were hard workers. They would work 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day with no pay, with little pay. No, no, no. There were poor black people and there were rich black people. In the 17, 1800s, there were a lot of black men who were successful. Very few who were like the Michael Jordans. They were millionaires. There were a couple of black millionaires in the 17, 1800s. There were a lot of free black men who actually owned a lot of land. They had a big house and drove a nice car. And there were actually hardworking African American people, just like now. Things haven't changed. Like even now, in 2020, you might see black men who have their own business, black men who make a lot of money. They're successful. They have a nice life, a nice family. They drive a nice car. And then you got a couple of black guys who don't have anything in life. They don't have any money. They don't have any food. They walk around. They have a hard life. They ain't got nothing but the clothes on their back. And it's always been like that. Of course, there were a lot of slaves, unfortunate African Americans who didn't have a nice life. They had to suffer their whole life or work their whole life, and they didn't know what it's like to actually have anything. They were cheated and abused and mistreated and treated and shamed and treated like animals because of the color of their skin. But there were black people who did own, and these were black men who went to college. They worked hard. They didn't give up. They became successful, and they owned a lot of land. Where they would actually do farming and they would pick, build, just do stuff. There were very few, but there were black men who owned land. I just wanted to give you people a little history lesson on that. Mr. J here, peace.